right.
Hello, I am Ling. This is Ethan.
Hi.
This is human conversation. Okay.
The weather is nominal.
All right, Ethan. So, considering COVID, do you think that people have more respect for essential workers in low-paying positions, like after all this over? So, like your standard grocery store workers, or your fast food people, or like janitors.
Uh, as one of those workers, I hope so.
I also
Uh,
hope so.
I really hope it makes those jobs a bit more respected. Because they are horrible
Oh
to
yeah.
do. No one wants to do them, but
Mm, I
people
mean,
gotta.
you're doing them.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing them. I just like.
But yeah, I mean, especially doctors. Like
Mhm.
that's
I feel like we've taken them for granted.
yeah.
Like they were always existent, but it's like, okay, going to the doctors is like really expensive and literally their whole thing is just trying to help people. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I really don't. It could go either way. Uh, I hope though. You know,
mm,
not all of us get to stay home
mhm.
and not take that risk.
Mhm. So, you know about the baby boomers, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I am aware.
Okay, boomer. So do you think that another generation will be born from COVID kind of like the baby boomers?
I never even thought about that. This is an interesting. Hmm.
Cuz like people are kept away from like their partners for long hours for a while in quarantine, so they can't leave their homes and like I assume
Yeah.
that.
No. It makes sense.
Mhm.
Uh, what you're saying. I. I think so. I mean, like we think about like the war that preceded the boomer generation, and it's this horrible tragedy that has led to the creation of some truly terrible things, such as the
Oh,
bombs.
I thought you were gonna say the boomers.
Uh, I don't hate old people. I just hate ignorant people.
I don't like the old people when they come into my drive-through and yell at me.
Oh yikes!
They're very
You know,
mean.
yeah, old people when you're a service worker is you get either the ones who are who've learned a lot and led a full life and are like super nice to everybody,
Mhm.
and then you get the ones who are like, "Fuck it, my life is over. Everyone sucks. Why should I care?"
Mhm.
And those are the people who feel like entitled. I don't know.
Mhm. I get a lot of like the ones who like get really upset with me if I ask them clarifying questions because they feel as though there's no need to ask questions. So I'll ask like I had a guy come through my drive-through asking if he could have a large fudge sundae. And I asked if he would like one or two scoops, and he said, "What?" And I said, "Would you like one or two scoops?" And then he proceeded to say, "No, I want a large fudge sundae." And it's just like,
But one or two scoops.
yeah,
It,
large doesn't
yeah,
mean
but
anything if we have multiple sizes of scoops and can do basically anything you want.
stop yelling at me.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Mhm.
The main reason I quit Office Max back when I worked there was an old lady was yelling at me for not having mini Sharpies in stock at our store, which I later found out, according to our manager, we've never sold mini Sharpies at that specific location.
That's not fair.
Uh, I almost wanted to deck the old woman, and that's not who I am as a person, so I quit.
That's fair. That's entirely
Uh,
fair.
yeah.
Um, how do you think COVID will affect like future social interaction? Like right now, a lot of people have been like switching over to like more online methods of talking to people because talking in person is not a good idea. Do you feel as though like these methods will carry on, or people will just kind of abandon it? How do you feel about that?
I think a lot of people who didn't know that you could, I mean, who doesn't know, but like didn't know how online connection feels similar to thing. Like, I mean, like there are definitely probably people out there who are like, yeah, I can FaceTime, but oh man, that just it sounds like I'm gonna be sitting next to a computer screen. But now they've actually had to do it, and it's not that bad.
Mm,
Uh, I think that'll definitely affect, and some people will opt in for that. Though ultimately, I think the impact on how people will act will be negligible because at least I've seen an astonishing number of people who just want to go back to things being normal and just hang out with people in
mhm.
person. And this also like leads me in like I learned we're ending the stay-at-home order at least here in Minnesota uh, on Monday, and the response to it has been positive. As everyone's glad they're going to be able to join in with 10 more people or whatever. Uh, I'm just sitting here thinking we still don't have a cure.
Mm,
uh, why are we doing this? I get like we need the jobs to open back up, but I'm just worried. I don't know. I don't want to get involved in that necessarily, but
I respect that. I'm also concerned.
it's there's a concerning number of people who just want to act like everything's normal and there's not a problem.
Mhm. The other day, at work, we have
Hmm.
some of us someone okay, when the drive-through gets super busy and the line's going down the drive out into the street, we have to go outside and take orders.
Hmm.
But we keep everybody in their cars and we try to maintain social distance. But this guy, like, he just walks up to me and he's not wearing a mask and he's like this big old trucker dude and he's like maybe 2 feet away from me being like, "Can you take my order?" And I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, I can't. You do know there's a pandemic going on right now, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I
Hmm.
know." He's not wearing any personal protective equipment and he's just like in my personal space. That's
Yeah, it's
I don't think he understands that I talk to like maybe 300,
uh,
400 people a day during like my work shifts.
yeah, that's
That's a lot of exposure, buddy.
yikes,
Mm.
yikes, yikes, yikes.
But following up with that question, do you feel as though people's opinion of like online interaction will change? Because like when I was younger, and I know this is like still pretty prevalent, but like people are always like stranger danger, don't talk to people on the internet. But now that like these people have become the ones talking on the internet, do you think that like people's parents' opinions will change or like society's opinions will change of like having like these online interactions with individuals who don't live super close to you?
I honestly don't. I want to say yes because I want it to be that way, but the people who are voice chatting and like had a negative opinion of voice chatting with people and thinking it was weird or whatever, they're talking with people they know in person. That's how they've moved to that.
Mm,
Um, so if a person would say believe talking to strangers on the internet isn't a real relationship or friendship or whatever, um, they're gonna still think that
mhm,
because they're gonna use the line of logic just like, oh well, at least I know the people I'm talking to.
mm.
I've met them. It's just
Well, I mean, I
yeah.
met you,
Well, yeah,
but I don't think. Yeah.
yeah.
Alrighty. Here's a question: how has COVID affected you personally? Actually, well, yeah. Like, how has it affected like your day to day life? Do you feel as though like you've seen any improvements in like say hobbies or like personal skills you're learning, or do you feel as though it's just an all around negative?
Honestly, it's just been like a standstill. It hasn't been getting better or worse. It's just kind of like time's in stasis. It's weird. You want to like move forward with stuff, but you lose track of the days and things just start blending together, and you don't ever find time to get stuff done.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, me personally, uh, nah. uh, it's affected me in the sense that I can't go out and get sushi if I wanted to, but
Oh, I want
I mean,
sushi.
I mean, it's affected me, but I understand why and can willingly give up something I like to not get infected
That
uh,
is fair
or
and
infect other
respectable.
people. So it's
Thank you for letting me interview today. Wait, interview you today.
yeah, no problem, Prez.
Mhm. All right.